Hello everyone, Richard Lawrence. I'm the chapter president for the API San Diego chapter, and we're here today to bring awareness of breast cancer, especially among African American women. And today we're celebrating some of the African American leaders here in San Diego. Ms. Rachel Vasquez, who is the mayor of Lemon Grove, Dr. Shirley Weber, who came here to speak with us today. Just an event for the San Diego chapter to bring folks into the community, labor and community together. Thanks.
Good afternoon. Well, it's still morning. Good morning. I've been in so many things you forget whether it's morning or afternoon, but the pink is amazing. To see all of you out there, and I'm just here really to welcome you. I'm fighting allergies this morning, and but I wanted to be here to make sure that you know how important UDW is to me. And I hope you do spend some time reading about A. Philip Randolph. And he was the founder of the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, is what it's called, in 1925. And that was the first actual union of African Americans in this country, and they eventually became a member of the AFL-CIO. But you should read about him because he's legendary in terms of a whole lot of issues. He was LGBT, most folks didn't know that. But he led so many movements. He was really the originator of the March on Washington that should have taken place in the 1940s. And they held off on it because he was negotiating whether or not to basically get jobs for African Americans in the industry, the war industry, but also to integrate the troops. And because they didn't want the big publicity about it, they basically negotiated in a way, and as a result that he didn't have to do the March on Washington in the 1940s, but he was a part of it in 1963. And so when we look at him, we find tremendous inspiration in communities of color about how we have pushed and pulled and pushed the labor movement forward to make sure that it met the needs of everybody, and that needs to happen. I'm so glad that you're here in pink today because one of the great challenges we're facing is healthcare. And I know we even faced it more. Like someone says, you've got to vote because if you don't vote, you know what happens. I said, you get trumped. And so we've got to deal with that. To basically take away subsidies from poor people so that they can't afford to get health care and increase the cost of health care to others, we're going to see a devastating impact of that in poor communities. We already know that most women, that the persons who die most from breast cancer are women, African American women, die more than anyone else from breast cancer. And much of that has to do with access to health care. Being able to get the mammograms and get the treatments that you need and be in a place where it's accessible, that you can get it easily. And so we've got an issue. And most of our issues with mammograms and even cancer, uterine cancer and all those things, much of our health care comes from Planned Parenthood and the clinics that they run. And so when you shut those off and you don't fund them at the federal level, then you try not to fund them at the state level, you're going to find it difficult for people of color, poor people particularly, to get health care. And so we expect to see the numbers rise. When we cut out our black infant health program in the state, we saw the number of deaths of babies, black babies, increase immensely. And so as a result of that, when I was chair of Health and Human Services, the budget, we once again reinstituted the millions of dollars that go into infant health, black infant health, because it was the death rate of African American babies was that of third world countries because of lack of prenatal care and those kinds of things. So we have to really be realized that healthcare, like education, is extremely important in these communities, and communities of color, communities that are poor, have more difficulty getting just regular health care. When you look at our communities, I call it sometimes health deserts. We have lots of clinics. We have very few emergency rooms. We almost have no hospitals in poor communities anymore in San Diego. We don't have a county hospital in San Diego. Our county doesn't fund a hospital for poor people. And so it goes on and on and on. And most of the health care and specialized care is being built in La Jolla. Fabulous health facilities in La Jolla. We have folks who can't get their cancer treatment. My daughter's a physician serving in one of the hospitals south of 8, and as a result, she has people who can't get to their chemotherapy. So we have some serious issues that we have to raise, and so I'm hoping that you will be registered to vote, that you will be voting, that you will take the issue of wearing pink, not just a one-day issue, but a serious concern about the health of women. Now, in terms of breast cancer, we die more from heart attack than anybody else. Black women do, and it goes on and on and on. And so we've got to take charge and make sure that we do better. Most of us know of Fannie Lou Hamer, who says, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired." Fannie Lou Hamer died at an early age of 60, really from basically all of what we call the black diseases. She had high blood pressure. You know, she had diabetes. All those things, she died too early as a fighter. She was a fighter for us, but she died early. And so when we think of Fannie Lou Hamer, she would have been 100 years old last week. Think about her battle, not just for civil rights, but her battle against all the kinds of what we call the black diseases, the black things that we struggle with, and we have to fight hard to make sure that that happens and our kids are well cared for and they learn about themselves and their health early in life. So once again, thank you for having me here.
All right, we want to thank y'all for coming to the first annual Day in Pink here at APRI San Diego chapter. Just want to say thank you. We bless you for everyone coming and spending their time with us today.
We would also like to say a huge thank you to the LA chapter. You guys came away, you guys showed us much love, and we truly appreciate your presence in the house today.
Absolutely.
We also would like to thank our regional director, James Bryant, because he supported us so much.
Yes.
And we plan on continuing to make APRI the best chapter of the Western region.
Absolutely.
Thank you.